place the hands on the bolster, bring yourself forward, and chest up, shoulders down. Okay, so do a couple of rounds like this. Now we worked on this a couple weeks ago. Press through those toe mounds, and then it's like a swoop from the toe mounds up to the top of the head. So use that press of the toe mounds to lift up through the top of the head. And go a couple times. That's the way. Yeah, so can you pull yourself, lift yourself, press those toe mounds so much that maybe even the toes point back, and then shoulders down, chest up. Okay, and then everybody be in Ardha Adho Mukha Svanasana, so hands on the bolster, draw the hips back, just be there for a moment, let the back muscles spread. Yeah, walk those hips way far back. Let the arms open, yeah. There you go, get that full opening of the armpits, full extension of the armpits, yeah. Legs back even a little further, Huda, so that, yeah, the legs are at least parallel. If not, heels even behind the buttocks is fine. Okay, and then come on up, and then we'll do one more variation here with the bolster. So now this time we're going to approach a Bhujangasana shape. So you'll bring yourself forward as you did before, but now you'll take the hands to the backrest of the chair and then snug the elbows in, and then extend yourself up and away from the chair seat. So this is a little bit of a deeper back bend. You might even feel this more in your abdominals. So I let my elbows first bend out to the side, and then I draw them in. I lift the chest. I draw that tailbone strongly into the body, bottom buttock lifted, and then you arc up away from that chair seat. And you may start to feel this again in that frontal abdominal area stretch there. Okay, so you come in the same way you did before, hands on the bolster, and then you're going to move the hands to the chair seat. Now, if this is too extreme of a back bend, if you come up higher in the pose, you can also work with more the bottom quadricep, just above the knee on the bolster, and then hands at the wall, and draw the elbows in, take that thoracic spine in and up. So this is another way to work. It gives you a bit more extension in the pose. So if having the pelvis on the bolster, hands at the chair seat, if that's too extreme, try taking the bottom quadricep just above the knee on that bolster, and then from there, you arc up and away. Yeah, draw the elbows in to lift the chest. So widen the elbows initially, bend the elbows, and then snug the elbows in, and use that snugging of the elbows in to lift the chest. Strongly draw the tailbone into the body, bottom buttock in and up, tighten the knees. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, now rotate. So then it's the same action. So everybody look here for a second. So the elbow action is that same action that we want in Urdhva, right? Where the triceps roll from outside in. So it's this action here. Yeah. Okay, so one more time. So since we're not supporting our whole body weight on the arms, I'm saying let's give ourselves a little slack. Allow those elbows to initially open out a little bit, and then draw the triceps from outside in to lift the chest. Yeah. Don't do that in Urdhva. Don't let the elbows splay out because you're putting too much body weight on, but here you can experiment. Draw that's it, Sherry, yeah. And then knees straight, legs straight, Jim. Okay, hands on the bolster, draw the hips back. Ardha Adho Mukha Svanasana, half downward facing dog. Hands on the bolster, walk those legs, walk those hips way back. Let those armpits come into, let the arms come into their full expression of straightening. Let the armpits open. Okay, and then walk in. So we're going to do some work from the floor now. So let's put the chairs off to the side. open out your sticky mat and have maybe just a blanket or two handy. So we've done a lot of shoulder work so far today. Shoulder work, thoracic spine. So let's spend a little bit of time now with the lower body rather. So getting some, we want to get some space and some length on the frontal hip, frontal groin area. So let's open out your mat, have a blanket or two handy, and then sit in Dandasana. So Dandasana. Now, this is definitely can be considered a preparatory for back bend. So with the legs straight, with the kneecaps dense, taking the backs of the thighs to the floor, heels to the floor, cut the lower back ribs in and up. Cut the middle upper back in and up. So take that middle upper back in and up. So this also builds that strength in the spinal muscles, in the back muscles, to draw the spine in and up. And keep pressing the thighs down. Keep pressing the legs down. Okay. Lean slightly to the left. Take your right leg Virasana. So Virasana and its variations, Supta Virasana, these are very important poses for back bending. So getting, learning to get that length through the frontal thighs. And then straighten that leg out, change over. Lean slightly to the right. Take the left leg Virasana. So, I think to Sherry's point, to your question earlier about kind of, you feel like you get stuck at a certain point. Sometimes I think like back bends are like, it's like chiseling, like you're working on a sculpture, So it's like you work on one end of the pose, you work on the shoulders, you work on the upper back, and then you work on the lower end, you work on the frontal thighs, the groins, even the abdominals, and then you maybe work on also the length of the calves, the length of the Achilles, and then at some point we put it all together. So straighten that left leg out, and then bend the right leg back. So it's always interesting, when you feel stuck in a pose, if you can start to break down, okay, where is it that I'm feeling stuck, right? What's the sticking point? Is it the frontal groins? Is it the shoulders? Is it mental? And if you don't know, if you can't decide, working on Urdhva Dhanurasana is always good, because eventually that's going to have to bring into play the whole thing, the whole arc. Okay, now bend up your left leg, Marichyasana. Now, for some of you, you're going to stay here and sit upright. And you can hold the hand on the frontal shin. You can take a blanket underneath the Marichyasana buttock and just work on the legs here. If you're okay to recline back, then go ahead and recline back, even if your Virasana leg knee comes up off the floor. So extend from the head of the shin to the big toe. Reach that right thigh down, from the frontal thigh to the knee. Reach down. And then draw that pit of the abdomen up. So now we're bringing some length to that frontal thigh region. Okay, if this is not for you, you can recline on a bolster, or you could work on sitting upright, and you'll still be working on getting that mobility in the hips and that length on the frontal thigh area. And then from here, you can even reach the arms overhead. Draw that lower abdomen up. It's almost like you're drawing the abdomen up out of the pelvic rim. Reach the arms overhead. Get that length on the front body. So another piece to the back bending is that learning to allow for softness and length in the abdomen. So if we're gripped in the abdomen or gripped in the psoas or any of those muscles in the front body, that's going to limit the movement of the spine. Okay, and then come on up. And then change over. Straighten out the right leg. And then take the left leg back. And then change the side. So left leg Virasana, right leg Marichyasana. You can work on upright. You can take a bolster, recline back on the bolster. Or you can recline back to the floor. So if you're reclining, as you recline back, extend from that left frontal thigh to the knee. Even take your hands and draw that lower abdomen up. And then reach the arms overhead. Maximize the length on the side waist. Maximize the length on the left frontal thigh, the frontal abdominal region. So there's both a willpower, an exertion, and an allowing that needs to happen in the back bending. So a willpower, an exertion, bringing intelligence to the various actions of the poses, and then also a surrender too. You know, if you've ever been in a class where you were doing like dozens of Urdhva again and again, just pushing up Urdhva, you know, there's an element of willpower for sure, but it's almost like you just have to surrender to it, surrender to the process. You know, in Urdhva, it is such a key pose because it'll teach you so much and prepare you in so many ways for the other back bends, because you have to have strength in the shoulders, you have to have strength in the back, you have to have opening in the armpits, you have to have opening in the frontal thighs, you have to learn to draw the buttock in, the tailbone in, lengthen the calves. So as you work to get that even arc in Urdhva, even if it's supported, you know, it's going to give you so much for the other back bends. You know, especially if you want to work on like the ones that come after, like Kapotasana and Ekapada Rajakapotasana. You know, first, typically, anytime you're going to work on those poses, you do a lot of Urdhva first. You know, maybe 6 to 12 Urdhva, and then maybe go for Kapotasana, Dvipada Viparidandasana, Ekapada Rajakapotasana. Okay, and then come on up, straighten the legs out, sit Dandasana, press the back thighs down, press down through the hands, take those lower back ribs in and up, lift up the sternum bottom to top. Okay, and then flip it over onto your abdomen for, let's take Shalabhasana. We'll do a few back bends prone. So it's kind of interesting today. In some ways, we're going from some more difficult things back to some more basic, and then we'll weave in some of the more complicated again. Lie on your abdomen, prepare for Shalabhasana. Extend the legs back, one at a time. Extend from the top buttock to the heels, inner legs lunge. Top buttock down, navel to spine. And then reach the arms back, tighten the elbows, tighten the knees. Take the thoracic spine in and up to lift your head and lift up Shalabhasana. So look up, look forward in Shalabhasana. Don't look down, and look up by taking the upper back in and up. So come on up into the pose. Come on up into Shalabhasana. Upper back in and up. Grip the middle upper back. Use that to lift your head. Okay, come down, take a rest. We'll do another. So lift your head in this pose. When your head hangs down, the whole pose drops and you can't mobilize your upper spine. Get that thoracic spine to come in and up. Go ahead and go. Tighten the knees, tighten the elbows, upper back in and up. Look forward, look up. Yeah, back bends are supposed to be uplifting poses, right? But if we look down, they're not going to be uplifting. It's going to be a heavy pose. Okay, release. All right. Come on down, release. Ekapada Bekasana. Bend up your right knee. Go ahead and lift that right leg. Extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. Okay. Now outer hip to outer knee in alignment. Reach back, hold the inner foot. Bend your elbow. Your elbow, you can do this with me. Bend the elbow. The elbow comes in towards the spine. Keep the alignment of the outer hip to outer knee. And then you either stay here if this is your maximum, or you rotate the elbow from the spine to the ceiling. Turn your hands forward. This should feel familiar, right? Chaturanga Dandasana arm. We did a lot of Chaturanga Dandasana earlier in class. Chest up. Extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. Elbow up to the ceiling. Minimize any twisting in this pose. So both hip bones down to the floor. Look forward. I'm looking sideways because I have to see you, but look forward. Release, change the sides. Yeah, so really, I know there's a slight twisting to reach back for the foot, but really try to minimize any twisting because that can destabilize the sacrum. Bend the left leg, keep the alignment of the outer hip to outer knee. Be on the right forearm, reach back, hold the inner foot, and then first the elbow is to the spine side, and then you're going to bend that elbow, turn it up to the ceiling, keep the outer hip to outer knee alignment, and then press the heel of the hand to the toes, both hip bones down, chest up, look forward. Extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. So this is an important pose for lengthening out the frontal thighs. Okay, release, change sides, back to the right. Speak up if you have any questions. This is also, I know it's more of a leg pose, thigh pose, but I also find it's helpful for the shoulders as well. Yeah, and then as you become more adept at this pose, you want to work to take that heel down on the side of the buttock. So press that heel down on the side of the buttock and extend from the frontal thigh to the knee, outer knee to outer hip to outer knee alignment. Okay, release, change sides. Chest up, hips down, outer hip to outer knee alignment, upper back end. All right, release. Take your head down, extend both legs out straight, tighten the knees, lift the legs up, get those legs nice and long, reach back through all 10 toes, draw that top buttock down to the heel so you traction out your low back, and then Dhanurasana. Bend your knees, lift the legs up one at a time to lengthen out the frontal thighs. Take the buttock down to the floor. So draw that tailbone into the body. You'll feel that grip of the glutes and also where the hamstrings meets the buttocks. And then lift your chest, lift your head, look up, look forward, reach back. Can you grab your ankles, hold those ankles at the same time, hold those front shins at the same time, okay? And then let's kick back with the shins. Kick back with the shins to lift your chest. So don't even worry about lifting the thighs up yet. Just flex your feet, kick the shins back. Yeah. So everybody let go, look here for a moment. So the first stage, what we'll do is you're going to flex the feet and just kick those shins back to get some movement here. Get some communication between the upper body and lower body. So kick the shins, lever the shins, lift the chest. Okay, your turn. Go ahead and do that much. So grab hold of the frontal shins. Yeah, flex the feet. Kick the shins back to lift your chest. Do a few times, get some movement there. Yeah, get some coordination, some communication between the upper body and lower body. So remember, yoga is about asana, it's about communication, establishing that cellular communication. Okay, release. Now, okay, now you're going to work on lifting the frontal thigh. So now we'll keep the feet more pointed. It's not about the feet though, but the feet are going to be more extended, toes extended. And then grip at the base of the buttocks to lift the thighs up and lift the chest. So at the base of the buttocks, where the hamstring meets the buttocks, you grip and lift there and then use that to lift the thighs up. Ultimately, we want to get the knees in line with the shoulders in this pose. So a lot of strength in the back body, a lot of grip there. Yeah, can you start to peel those thighs up off the floor? So those muscles, the hamstrings and the glutes, they have to grip to do that. And do a couple times. Yeah, that's the way. Do a couple times. So I'm just watching. That's it, Sherry. Good. Yeah. So that's it. Extend the big toes up to the ceiling. There you go. Yes. There you go, Huda. Yeah. Head up. Look forward. That's the way. There you go, Jim. Yeah. Good. Okay. Good, everybody. And then release. Nice. Nicely done. Okay. Downward dog. Take an Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthen out your spine. Press evenly through the circumference of the palms. Draw the hips back. Tighten the elbows. Back body to front body. Let your head go. Okay, and then you can walk your hands to your feet to come out. Come on up to standing. All right, how is everybody? Doing okay? Okay, let's put this together now with some Urdhva. So have a chair near the wall and look here. So you're going to take a chair not at the wall, but near the wall. And have a sticky mat over the backrest of the chair. Don't have the chair on a sticky mat, but have a sticky mat over the backrest of the chair. So it gives you a little grip and also just a little bit of padding. You know, that slippery chair back can be challenging on the spine. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll take this close to the wall. Again, it may take a couple trials to get that just right distance from the wall. Okay, and then we'll start with the toe mounds down, the heels up the wall. And then a couple times you're just going to arc over, elbows bent for today. So you're going to have the elbows bent, and then you'll use this opportunity with the supported Urdhva to work on the actions of the arms. So draw those triceps from outside in, compact the upper arms. Tailbone in and up, grip at the base of the buttock. And then you'll come down. We'll do that a couple times, okay? And then the next piece here, if you choose to accept, is then you're going to place the heels down on the floor. Notice I put the heels down. And then from there, you press into the wall, lift up away from the wall, and then just come down, okay? If you don't feel comfortable doing that, then just stay on the chair and work with the arm actions, the leg actions, etc. It's almost like a push-up. Okay, so let's begin by just getting the placement from the wall, taking the arms overhead, bent elbows for this one. Hands should be about shoulder height, so not hands way high up the wall. So the hands are, those arms are, yeah, maybe shoulder height, elbows bent, and then draw the triceps from outside in. I'm going to move my computer also so you can see me a little bit better. You can see the angle of my arms. That's it. So lift the buttocks up, get the tailbone up. Yeah, buttocks is up off the chair seat. Tailbone is in and up. Yeah, grip at the base of the buttocks. Yeah, now if you're too close to the wall, yeah, so get in closer to the wall, Jim, so you can bend your elbows. This is a bent arm pose. I think you're a little bit too close, Sherry. So the idea here is you want to get like Urdhva arms. So we're working on the arms in Urdhva. I'll show again from the side here if anybody needs to see if there's confusion. So let me see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it could be a little further. There we go. All right, and then the triceps go from outside in. Base of the buttock lifts up. And then the next step is you'll put the heels down and then you'll press into the wall, lift up and come down. So it's almost like push-ups. And down. That's it, Sherry. Yeah. See what everybody's doing here. Yeah. And if it doesn't feel safe for you to push up off the chair, then you can just work with the arms. That's fine. Yeah. Let the head go back. Don't lift your head up to do this. Yeah. Also, if you find that that's it, Huda. Nice. Nice, Huda. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. And from there, maybe you can even walk the hands up the wall, stand up, you can see. There you go. Nicely done. That's it. Grip that lower buttocks in and up. Okay, I'm just watching. Yeah, elbows up, triceps from outside in.